Good morning, good evening, good night, good whenever it is when you're watching this video. This is our second Pod Leaders meeting, SingularityNET and Ecosystem recorded monthly Pod Leaders update out to the community. Thank you all very much in the community for your fabulous amplification and some of your really great feedback about the last recorded Pod Leaders meeting. Please do keep the feedback coming, keep the suggestions coming. You know, we are very, very committed to continuously evolving, progressively decentralizing, and working with you so that we become closer and closer and more aligned as one team going forwards. So behind me here in my background, you'll see probably what was definitely undoubtedly the pinnacle of my professional life to date, which was where we launched our Jam Galaxy band with the Desdemona robot in Los Angeles last Saturday at NAMM Festival. It was a super cool event and it all worked really, really perfectly smoothly. We were working super, super hard till midnight every night and then up at 6 a.m. with sound checks, making sure the robots, we had a guest from Sophia Robot as well as Desi Robot. We did interviews with Reuters, with ABC, music correspondent. And we were on the Breakfast of Champions event, which is a huge event at NAMM, along with the CEO, Joe Lamond of NAMM, who developed a really beautiful closeness with our robots in a very short space of time. And so that's kind of the very big highlight that's with us now. And we're preparing for our next gig, which is in New York City, NYC, in DROM, which is a world music venue and a really cool venue in the East Village as part of NFT NYC. So SingularityNET and Jam Galaxy will be out in force at NFT NYC. If any of our community are there, make sure you come along and say hi or reach out to us in advance. But also, if any of our community want to come to our gig on 22nd of June in DROM in the East Village in NYC at 7 p.m, 8 p.m really, or 7 p.m, we have some special NFT. We're going to have some very special NFT tickets whereby if you're lucky enough to get those tickets, you get to meet Ben Gertzel and you get to meet Desi as well, our rock chick robot. So that's kind of top news of the moment, especially as Diane may not be able to share too much. Sorry, Diane, if I've stolen your thunder. Feel free to do it again. Diane, Wonder Woman, was an incredible front lead to that band. June's a really exciting month for us. We've got a couple of major launches coming up sometime in the next couple of weeks, and I'll let Jasmine and I'll let, whether we have Hruy or Conor or who's here from, Hruy's here, update you on those from Rejuve and Mindplex. Raam's going to give you a really great update on platform development, where we are against our milestones for Q2 and our milestones for Q3. Raam is also going to do a detailed response going through the questions that were posed by our very, very good friend at AI Crypto, who very, very kindly took the time to go through our phase 2 plan and pull out a lot of the technology developments and commitments which we made in that phase 2 plan. And so Raam is going to give us an update where we are against all of those. As a high level, what I would say is really, I feel we've made very strong progress against those. And you know, do your own research, make your own mind up after Raam has spoken. But one key dimension to consider is that in that phase 2 plan, there wasn't a specific date given to delivery of those particular of that suite of technological implementations. And of course, it's really only with the recent launch of the converter that we have been able to unlock the AGI Ada, which you, our beautiful community, very kindly voted for, to power and empower us to deliver these technology changes. But despite that, we are actually making really, really significant progress. So we'll probably have Raam up, I think, fairly early to Jan in the order to go through those, as it's a topic of the moment. But thank you for raising this. Keep us honest, keep us accountable. We are accountable to you at all times, our community. I'm going to come back to you on the partnerships comments that and the list of partnerships that AI Crypto called out, because many of those are before my time, and I just need to really make sure that I'm passing on relevant, timely, and useful information. But on the partnerships front, I am super excited to say we're currently the ink is drying, and we're in final legal and marketing team sign off on a couple of partnership announcements, and we've got some very exciting new partnerships in the offing as well. It's really an area that's a huge, intense focus for us right now. So at that introduction, Jan, I'll hand back to you to take us through the rounds, please, if you would be so kind. And maybe start with Raam.
Yeah. Well, then I propose to start with Raam.
Thank you.
After that, maybe we can have Greg, because those guys are way ahead of us in a time zone, so it's already quite late for them. But Raam, for you, the honors.
Yeah, thanks, Jan, and thanks, Janet. So yeah, thanks to Janet. So we'll just start off with a quick update of where we are. So first of all, just wanted to say that at the platform team, we are quite excited. We've been quite busy building on the promise that all of you voted for in terms of the phase 2 proposal. And while it might appear that things have not moved, it's actually a lot of work has gone in, right? I just wanted to call out the fact that we are really building the foundation towards kind of getting the whole platform onto Cardano, right? So with that, I'll probably start off first with a couple of items that we have completed and has been delivered, and this is all coming from the list of items that have been mentioned in the phase 2 proposal, right? So the few things that we've completed already are in terms of streamlining the process for platform usage. We've actually spent in a lot of time to kind of make the whole process of onboarding AI developers on our publisher portal quite seamless, right? We used to actually have an upfront KYC process before, which we've now simplified. What we've done is that we've got it made it simple for publishers or developers to use the publisher portal, get their services on, and we kind of do the KYC at a later point, right? So that has reduced the number of the number of steps that AI developers need to take, and they basically get the services onboarded that much sooner, right? So that's already done, available on our publisher portal. I would really welcome the community to try it out, give us feedback on how that works. Then another piece that is also completed is enhancements on the SingularityNET daemon. We allow concurrent calls. So the way the platform was originally set up, which is an artifact of how Ethereum works, right, was that we could only allow one call at a time per channel, but we've enhanced that to now allow multiple calls in a single channel. Right, so that's another piece that is also has been completed. We made some progress on licensing that is kind of still underway, right? So that's an effort that is still going on. There was also another piece that we've done, which is in terms of the way we price our AI services, right, on the platform. So we had an implementation, on the phase 2 proposal. We talked about an adaptive multi-oracle weighted historical average approach. So that is also done. So today, if you look at the service price, right, we basically look at how the AJX price is trending, and based on that, we've set up our price for each service as well. So these are all items that I'm happy to say we've completed. But at the same time, a lot of work has gone in terms of groundwork for us to be able to set up our platform on Cardano, right? So let's just kind of begin by understanding what that means. So the first thing is that Cardano launch support for Plutus, the smart contract, on Cardano somewhere around September with the Alonso release. So obviously, we were playing around, we were working with the IOG team, but any progress that we could make on mainnet for our platform was post-September, right? An additional consideration was also that the Plutus application backend, the PAB, which basically enables dApps to interact with, Plutus-based scripts on Cardano, came around October, right? So that's really when we could start trying out things, testing out things on the mainnet, and we've been doing that. So we've got a pretty good understanding of what it takes to start building smart contracts on Cardano. The first major launch for us was in terms of the bridge itself, which allows a one-to-one swap of tokens between Ethereum to Cardano. And I just want to call out that we are very proud of what we've achieved. Building a bridge is not a simple task. There are a lot of security considerations that go into making this secure. obviously one end of the bridge is on Ethereum, another end is on Cardano, right? So we need to make sure that both ends are super secure, and I think we've done a great job with that. We also went through significant due diligence. We got a smart contracts audited through external auditors. We've also got external agencies to review our dApps as well. So we spent a fair amount of time just doing our security due diligence, and that was a key step for us in terms of making sure that our platform can scale or move towards Cardano, right? Because without the AGIX token on Cardano, none of the rest of the platform would work. The other bit that we are now actively working on, and is something that should come out fairly soon, is staking. So now that we've given the ability for AGIX holders to be able to kind of move tokens between both ecosystems, we want to also give a mechanism for people to basically stake their tokens as well, right? That's going to be a first step, and again, glad to say that the team is really busy working through that stuff. Obviously, Cardano, the way it works is fundamentally different from Ethereum, right? I mean, there are pros and cons on both sides, but Cardano goes for absolute mathematical based guarantees of how contracts work, which is a great thing because you're always certain in terms of how your contract is going to behave. There's a fixed cost, it's very fast, and so on, right? But that also meant that we had to kind of go with the UTXO model to start devising solutions. So the way we had built staking on Ethereum is going to be different from the way we built staking on Cardano. So what I mean by that is the functionality is the same, but as a team, we had to learn new tools and utilize it to build the same functionality on Cardano, and we are actively working on that. Once that's done, right, we will start looking at getting the rest of the platform onto Cardano. But another key factor to consider there is the fact that we will need Hydra to basically make our platform extremely efficient on Cardano. So Hydra is a very interesting concept. It supports microtransactions on Cardano. It's at a not an exact analogy, but you could think of it as any somewhat equivalent of payment channels on Ethereum, right? It's not quite the same, but it gives you an idea of mechanism for you to basically optimize on transactions, so that instead of having every transaction on chain, you have a bunch of microtransactions and just have the key settlements getting recorded on chain, right? Now we've already started engaging with the Hydra team, so we've been having calls with the Hydra team. We've also started to play around with Hydra on testnet, but what this also means is that obviously our launch of the marketplace and publisher will be kind of post the Hydra launch, right? Another thing that I just want to call out is what's happening with Hydra is a pretty significant piece of work with the Cardano ecosystem itself, right? I mean, that's it's a lot of key functionality that's coming out. And as that comes out, we need to basically make sure that the way we interact with Hydra is very smooth and efficient from the point of view of AI consumers and AI developers, right? Who are basically the ones using the platform. And those are bits that those are the considerations that we are working through. So just to give you an example, right? As we are understanding how Hydra works, what we've realized is that for people to, for AI consumers to use our SDKs to invoke services on our platform, with Hydra, there would be a need for somebody to run a Hydra node and a Cardano node. Right now, obviously, we do not want to burden our AI consumers with having to run these additional bits. Rather, we will do it themselves, right? But these are just considerations that we need to take into account so that we get the full benefit of the Cardano ecosystem and make it as seamless as possible for our AI consumers and our AI developers to utilize the maximum value, right? So that's essentially the bits that we're working on. From a timeline perspective, obviously we are a bit tied into when Hydra launches on the mainnet, and post that we will start getting out some more functionality. But also to call out that if Hydra comes out in a month, right, we may not be able to do it in a few days after that, because we obviously have to tailor in our solutions to make it very seamless. So those are the bits that we are currently working on. And also to echo what Janet had mentioned, right, for us, the phase 2 proposal is really the starting point of getting the platform over. We made some pretty key foundational steps, which may not be very obvious, but has really kind of laid the groundwork for us to get the rest of the platform in. So yeah, thanks. That's the update that I had.
Thanks very much, Raam. Huge amount of progress. Were you going to also perhaps screen share from the actual phase 2 document and just run through anything else which is outstanding, which you haven't covered in your update?
Sure, and I can do that. So we'll just quickly share my screen. Just give me a second.
Thank you so much.
Are you all able to see the PDF? I have the phase 2 proposal up in front of me.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. So we'll just quickly run through. I mean, some of the key proposals that we had, in terms of our phase 2 was achieving greater scalability, right, to overcome some of the obstacles on what we currently have. Deep integration with Cardano was one of the key things, and a few of these points that I mentioned in terms of getting our AJX token to exist on the Cardano ecosystem, being able to build a bridge. These were all key bits that we've already completed. So some sense that's done. I'll skip on the AIDSL. I'll stick probably to the platform aspect of things, right? Then the rest of them are all kind of work in progress. Once the platform completely moves over, we will actually have a lot of these come in as well, right? A free hosting tier would also kind of come post the Cardano migration, completion of the fiat crypto gateway. This is an interesting piece. I mean, we have the technical wherewithal to do this, but we just have to think through the regulatory aspect. We already have, fiat to crypto gateway is already existing on the platform in the form of PayPal. Right, so that kind of already exists. The rest of the gateway, which is crypto to fiat, is what needs to get built out. Right, so these are the bits that are yet to be done: development and deployment of tools to enable infrastructure as a service, creation of developer evangelism, and other set of improvements. So we a few improvements which we will talk about further are already completed. The first one is done, the implementation of an adaptive multi-oracle weighted historical average approach to setting the AGI token exchange price in the fiat crypto gateway. So this is already done. What we have done, the way we've set it up is that we are always looking at, what is the price of the AGX token over the, a couple of, I think we take 2 to 3 weeks as the average, and we cannot set it at a higher point. So even if the token price goes down, we don't necessarily reduce the price downwards, but we kind of make sure that the price stays stable. Completion of the fiat crypto gateway is to be done. More sophisticated handling of licensing and pricing. So this is work in progress. We've already have licensing support in the daemon. What we need to do is basically expose this via our tooling in terms of the marketplace, the SDK, and the publisher, right? So that's what is pending there. Addition of free hosting tier is to be done, right? Improvements of the SingularityNET daemon, a few of them are already completed. Concurrent calls within a single daemon is done. It's available. So if anybody wants to download the daemon, set it up. Concurrent calls are available. Embedded version, auto recovery, and service mesh. These are features that we will probably pick up post the Cardano migration. All right. Then streamlining the process of platform usage. This is also completed. It's available on the publisher portal. I would request and encourage the community to try this out and give us feedback to see if how we can enhance this further. But we've made the process a lot simpler than how it started off originally. Right. So yeah, I mean, these were the key points that I wanted to cover.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that detailed run through, and hopefully that will give comfort and encouragement and excitement and enthusiasm to the community that we are not forgetting any of our commitments, and we're absolutely all over it. We're on it like a car bonnet, as we say here in the UK. Right. But any more questions, keep on asking us. Thanks so much, Raam. Sure. Right, Chen, where are you going? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that, Janet. I think, again, to remind, we are on to something pretty big, right? If you look at it in terms of shifting a platform from Ethereum, which follows the global account model, to Cardano, which follows the UTXO model, right? I mean, there are quite a few technical intricacies to deal with. I'm glad to say that a lot of the groundwork has been done. We've been able to figure things out. We have been speaking with a lot of partners in the ecosystem to understand, share learnings. We are working closely with the IOG team as well. So I think it's important to understand that, we are building out the foundation for a solid platform on Cardano, right? So while it may appear from outside, you may not see the building coming up, but we are putting in, laying in a very strong foundation right now, right? So just wanted to call that out.
Thank you. And we can actually see some of the building coming up as well. So excellent work from yourself and Sridhar and Anand and the rest of the platform team. Thank you. So I think it's probably maybe appropriate to come across to Matt Iklé next, just to finish off this discussion on where we are against the phase 2 white paper, because we were also asked by AI crypto prophet what is happening with Hyperon's pre-alpha version of new AGI framework, and perhaps Matt or Alexey would be able to give us a great update on that. And then also, as Raam just shared in the white paper, we talked about development of AI DSL, which I know is coming along really well as well. So whether Matt, you'd like you or Alexey to cover the Hyperon point and AGI framework, or should we? It's up to you.
Alexey, maybe you're in a better position to talk about the current state of Meta and Hyperon, and I can cover the AI DSL piece.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Alexey. Hi.
So on the Hyperon and Meta side, a few people who are still from the SingularityNET ecosystem, but not from the core development team, have started contributing to the Meta repo, and we are happy that they liked our approach, and they are quite interested in it and enthusiastic in terms of contributing to the code base, so the things are moving forward. We have introduced support for grounded types in the core of Meta system. This opens the possibility to make the interpreter stricter in terms of how it processes predefined and library grounded functions and symbols, including such symbols as such very basic and important symbols as match operation and some others. So we hope that this will make it more transparent what exactly or how exactly our interpreter works, how it processes different structures and what is the order of it, because in some cases programmers in Meta expect that the expression should be taken as is, because for example, match operator works with expressions, but in other cases it is expected that the expression will be reduced first and so on. And with meta types for grounded symbols, this will become more transparent. We are also extending the range of meta code which is handled correctly, fixing tricky cases which are provided by these people who started playing with Meta. We also have some progress on the Minecraft AI agents side. It's not precisely about Meta right now, but still it's about AGI, hopefully. So on a technical side, we have developed the Minecraft mod, which is still based on Malma and not fully supported its all functionality, but it supports the latest versions of Minecraft. So hopefully we will now use novel versions of Minecraft, because Malma was abandoned a few years ago, and it's not too interesting to play with the old version. We have started porting our agents to work with this mod. And there is a new demo based on temporal reasoning, which is different, completely different from the previous demo, but very interesting because it is more high level. It uses it doesn't use predefined rules, but it discovers what to do and how to do, also on high level granularity of actions, but still it is kind of less programmed, I would say. And we also prepared a new blog post for our series of blog posts about Minecraft and AGI, and it will hopefully be published soon. One more thing I would like to add, it's not precisely the work which is already going on, but it's an important decision that we have started thinking about the possibility to perform research and development of a novel conversational dialogue system for Sophiaverse using knowledge-based approach, and in particular we have started thinking about how it would be possible to implement it in Meta. It's just the very first step, but we are quite excited about possible research directions it opens to us. So this is mostly all on my side. Maybe Matt can add something if I forgot something important. Okay.
Thanks, Alexey. Before I head into AI DSL, Alexey brought up a few points that it's not that you forgot something, it's more that more things are happening that have just started happening recently. Alexey mentioned the temporal reasoning. That's work being spearheaded by a group headed by Nil Geisweiler. There were, right, so you mentioned the discovery of sets of actions for solving problem solving within temporal reasoning. What we're actually also beginning to explore is, through some connections to other outside research, the possibility of the actions emerging from time series, of exploratory time series. So that then we would have both the planning as well as the actual actions being emergent phenomena. We're just in the preliminary stages of that. So that is one of those, what I foresee in terms of AGI as a potentially very exciting development. Alexey also mentioned the Sophiaverse, which is yet a whole another direction, very exciting and interesting direction. And we'll see how all that plays out. It's just so much happening right now that seems positive, exciting, and transforming. And then that brings me to kind of the AI DSL, where all these ideas seem to just be percolating up, and everything seems to be coming together. AI DSL, we continue to make progress. So that's again another project with Nil and Sam, and we've been bringing in a number of community members that were funded through either Catalyst or deep funding into these efforts as well. And we've been kind of taking a step back, refocusing, and then moving forward on that. So probably the most tangible progress that we've made in AI DSL has been essentially Nil has made progress in formalizing one of the three basic services that we wish to separate out for and solving the hole filling problem to enable services to more easily connect with each other. And that's work supported by a number of individuals as well, both within our team as well as the larger community. And now we're moving on to the next step and more future looking and tying this in to Hyperon is both in the temporal reasoning work as well as in AI DSL. We're now looking to bring in connections through the meta language to Hyperon and kind of steering everything so that right now the temporal reasoning is on classic OpenCog, and we're looking at now that meta's more mature, how do we enable that within the Hyperon framework? And this same with AI DSL.
Well, with those words you said, exciting and transformative, and so much happening. That's so a phenomenal.
So many ideas that are percolating from, I use that word as well, but from the community at large, through Catalyst, deep funding, and big picture ideas, as well as the small detail work that's necessary to actually create these big picture ideas, as well as the Sophia-verse interactions with David Hansen of Hansen Robotics, and all of these ideas coalescing and enabling us to move forward and onward.
Brilliant, thank you. And what's really great is that we're actually seeing the rubber hitting the road with our development of Meta, of AI DSL, of Hyperon, and our AGI framework, and the Sophia-verse developments are also super exciting and coming along really well as well. So it is definitely, I do feel organizationally like we're in a purple patch at the moment, where there's a huge amount being delivered, in fact. And Alexey, back to your inspiring update, thank you. You said you had a couple of people coming in and playing with Meta, which is fantastic, and that they're enjoying it and they're finding it easy to use. When will come the time where we want to do an open shout out to the community for more developers to come and start playing with Meta?
Well, our plans is to have a sort of not precisely closed testing, but not widely announced testing in July, and hopefully in late August we will be at a stage when we can ask more people to start testing and playing with Meta. Not sure if precisely using it, but at least playing with it for sure.
Oh, brilliant! So that's just around the corner, right? That's 2 months away. So everybody start getting ready for the opportunity to come and play with our amazing new AGI programming language and our OpenCog Hyperon framework from August. That's super great. Thank you, guys.
Late August.
Late August, you're right, 2 months and a bit. Thank you. All right, guys, does anyone have any more questions for Matt and Alexey or Jan? Where are you taking us next on our romp of talent through the SingularityNET talent hothouse?
Well, I think it's fair to give Greg an opportunity to tell what he has been working on, which is a completely different end of the spectrum, going from deep AI to the front end, UI and UX, which is also very important, but from a very different perspective. Greg.
Hi, yeah, thanks. So I'm the head of UX at SingularityNET, and just going to update you what the UX team has been doing for a little bit. One of the big things we've been working on lately is the new SingularityNET website redesign. We're basically kind of beginning the development phase this week. And we have the core production design is about 80% done. So we hope to wrap up the core production design pretty much this week. So that's going to be an exciting new project that will allow us to update our website more easily and more frequently for the community, and also to detail all the information through a roadmap and everything else about what we're doing, and also including these videos to the community. So it'll be an easier hub for our community to keep track of what we're doing and understand our new phases that we're entering, that Raam has defined with the Cardano blockchain stuff and some of the AI, AL, DSL stuff. So our team also, we work with a lot of the other spin-offs. So I won't go into their details as much because they'll be here talking about that as well. But we definitely do a lot of work with Rejuve and NuNet, and Mindplex and a few others. The big thing that we're doing is my team is expanding. We successfully hired a new senior lead designer, which I'm excited to start working with this week. So that's a big thing. And we're still continuing interviewing UX design candidates for the second position that we have open. So if anybody in the community is interested in or thinks they have design chops to work at SingularityNET, feel free to check out our jobs page and contact our HR about setting up some interviews. Let's see what else. And the other thing, I've been working on with SDAO, and they're remastering their design files for their new brand ID, which is pretty exciting. They're gonna have some really cool stuff pretty soon. So basically what I was doing was remastering the files for production use for SDAO and SNet. So that's kind of a tedious thing, but we got it done, and we should see some cool stuff from them in a while. But that's about it that I have for right now, and talk to you guys next time.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. And is this your first time doing the update to the community? Is it their first time meeting?
Maybe not the first time, but I missed the last one. So that was, I missed the last one.
Well, fantastic to have you here. Fantastic to have your update, Greg. One of our very formidable talent and long-time SingularityNET Arian. And I've had some great feedback on the website hotfix that we already did. So thank you so much for that. And I've seen and I'm involved bi-weekly in the designs for the new website, and it's really looking very, very modern, very clean, very well structured, and it tackles the no small challenge of explaining all of the things that we're up to at SingularityNET when our vision is so broad and our ambitions so great. So thank you so much for that, Greg. It's coming along very nicely, and we're all super looking forward to it. right. Lovely to see you today.
All right, thank you. I think that we already had quite a few amazing updates for the community. I think they will be so happy to hear all this. And thinking about it, that we did all these updates in the past between ourselves, I think it's a huge uplift now to be sharing this on a regular basis with the community. So going from front end, Greg, who has a great overview of a lot of projects that he's involved in, to Sridhar, who actually also has a very good overview of many projects that he is involved in, but then more from a back-end point of view. So Sridhar, what can you tell us?
Yes, so we're continuing with our smart contracts needed for Rejuve, and today even I had a call with the Mindplex team with minor changes. So we're looking for the community.
Sridhar, sorry to interrupt you, but would you be able to put on your camera since we are?
Yes, I can do that. Okay, are you able to see me now?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Great, yes. Okay, so as I said, we are continuing supporting both Rejuve and Mindplex, and especially like we got a lot of questions on how do we reduce the adoption of the platform, because some of the users may not be the crypto friendly users, right? They may not have much idea on the crypto, but they want to be part of the platform. So we want to reduce that barrier to the adoption, and also take some hit on the gas cost from the platform side rather than taking it from the users. So one of the discussion that I had today with the Mindplex team is how do I reduce the content requester, right? On how they can claim the transaction fee, or without even paying the transaction fee. Is there something which we can do it ourselves on behalf of them until the adoption of the platform is done effectively into the community, right? So those are some of the discussion that we're having with the Mindplex, and the same topic came up with Rejuve as well, right? How do I reduce that barrier? And so whatever the design that we have done previously is both from the user identity NFT as well as on the product NFT and the data sharing the NFTs. So we are also a little bit redesigning those to provide this kind of capabilities where we can execute some of the transactions on behalf of the user, but at the same time there is no step down to the security, right? The same amount of security standards that we want to follow in the contracts, but enable the execution of transactions by admin on behalf of the user. So that way we reduce the initial transaction cost that the user has to spend from their pocket. So that's one. And also we are now supporting the other project team members and looking at a couple of platforms like Cardano and Solana on how we can bring the NFT the NFT platforms or the marketplaces onto Cardano and Solana. So we're comparing that and then looking at which one makes best sense for some of our projects that we are looking at. So that's also ongoing activity that we are doing right now. And most of the other updates I think Raam already covered from the blockchain perspective. I don't want to reiterate again on those topics, but yes, so behind the scenes we are also helping both from the platform and other the initiatives as well from the blockchain needs perspective.
Thanks very much indeed, Sridhar. Great update from you as always, and lots of super hard work going on, I know, from you and your team.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sridhar. Then let's continue with Mindplex. I think we have both Hruy and Conor here. Hruy, how are you? Are you still here? And is your connection okay? There I see you. Great to see you, Hruy. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? I'm recovering. I'm good.
Yes, I know. So it's good to see you, and you're looking great and healthy.
Well, I think I look healthy, but not that great. Huh? I lost quite a little bit beauty.
Maybe a little bit of weight, but your beauty is unsurpassed.
Exactly. That's totally not the case. You're shine and radiate as always, Hruy. Great to have you back on full health. But Conor's been doing an amazing job holding the fort anyway when you were recovering.
Yes, Conor has been a fantastic team leader, so I'm also grateful for what he has done.
I guess that's my cue to say something. Hi, thanks, guys.
That's your cue.
But I am glad to have Hruy back and not hold up the fort myself.
It's very good. So who's going to give us the Mindplex updates? Lots of excitement going on in the Mindplex camp. Lots and lots of work, lots of AI that's now been finished and ready to launch. So talk to us about it, guys.
Okay, I think I can update you on the tech side, and then Conor can update us from the content side.
Sounds good.
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
So to start with tech side, I think we are in the month where we are going to give birth to Mindplex. So in this June, end of June, we are going to release the first phase of Mindplex, which will include the magazine. And then within the magazine platform, we're going to introduce our first and very important decentralization tool, which is going to be the recommendation engine as well. So on the magazine side, now we're ready to, host all these beautiful and very informative contents to our content consumers or the community in general. And then members and users, they can tweak their recommendation. So when it comes to our AI tool, what you can do as a user is previously on other sites, whatever the site recommends to you, you are going to use that recommendation. But in Mindplex case, a user can tweak. We selected a set of parameters that will enable you to configure your own recommendation setup. So these parameters include content quality, they include popularity, they include location, they include timeliness, they include if you are a bit adventurous, you can choose the random option. So you have like around 6 to 8 parameters that will enable you to tweak your recommendation system. And then based on that, you will get feeds from the site. Well, obviously in the early days, because we are going to have a couple of contents, you will not see how useful this AI is for you, but I'm sure like after 3 to 6 months, when we are going to accumulate the contents in thousands, you will see how important the recommendation engine will be. In terms of the other setups, we have now a chat feature for our users. The live chat, it will not be active at launching. It will be coming soon. I mean, by coming soon, another 30 to 60 days, because we are working on the encryption system. But now you can have this perfect message between your friends, your followers, or your circle on Mindplex. That is also completed. I am excited, and at the same time, I'm a little bit worried because, this is a delivery time, and labor is not fun when delivery is upon us. So I'm a little bit worried, but I hope that our community will like what we have done. And I think we'll be ready in June 22-23. We will see the launching of Mindplex by then.
Well, that is certainly something to look forward to, Hruy, and glad to hear that. What was the exact time you said that we could expect something? We could expect the first version?
According to our doctors, June 25 is delivery day.
Wow, that's very, very precise. June 25. So I'll have that in my agenda. And I think a lot of other people also right now. So that will be one very exciting day. And then, of course, we're looking forward to all the content on the site, Conor.
Yes, we have about maybe 20 pieces of content from our content team. We have some very smart futurists and futurologists who have dedicated their lives to studying trends and projecting scenarios into the future and have written about it. And yeah, I've just been going through their content the past week, and most of it is ready to go. We also have a community generated content section, which I'm just starting to go through now, and some of it looks good. So Yeah, we're hoping to launch with maybe 20, 30 pieces of content and then keep them coming down the pipeline. Graphics is still a bit of a sticking point. We haven't finalized a graphic designer, so we're going to need a bit more time to get the graphics in place. But if we're aiming for a launch in June 25, I think we can get it all ready by then.
Yes, I mean, on top of that, you can also remind them that Conor and I were contacted by community members who are very interested to do a podcast with us as part of our decentralization effort. And it looks like our community is very active. Even if we didn't launch the product, some of them, they have already started this podcast ideas and how they can use our platform to share these beautiful ideas about the future and the present as well. That also, me, Conor and I, we have conducted this, very high-level introductory meeting with these community members who are organized in such a group, so that probably in the early days of after launching, maybe like after 1 month or something, we will also have this podcast, community podcast, like voice of the community as well, which is also a very good thing for my heart, because this project, it's all about decentralizing content and giving voice to the voiceless, and then that also is a good news for us. We have a ready community that wants to be an active part of the Mindplex ecosystem.
Thank you, Hruy. I think there was a podcast also where Ben and
the editorial team.
Sorry.
Ben and the editorial team are also working on these podcasts.
Yeah,
we one episode of that has been recorded, and the second one is all lined up. We have some exciting guests, some pretty famous guests who I won't name at this point, but people you've heard of that we're excited to reveal. We we have so much content, Jan, we can't even remember it.
and this is separate from the community podcast.
The community podcast is Ben's podcast. We have a member of the community who is a YouTuber who has a futurist YouTube channel, who's interested in putting his videos on Mindplex rather than YouTube. So
right.
We have community generated content and we have our own content.
All right. Well, I'm also in touch with some community members trying to pull off a really community-driven podcast. So there's even more content to come here. So I think we're up for a great start. So I'm really looking forward to see that launch. And I suppose that also after the launch date, the community can still go on and contribute new articles, right?
Yes, as you know, this is just the first phase of Mindplex. We have the content factory and the repetition engine, which depends on our tokenomics. We are planning to release those later on. But in the meanwhile, we are going to have this regular call for contents so that the community can contribute. And then once we launch these tools, the community can contribute directly using these tools. So I'm pretty sure we will keep up this call for content practice every month at least. So in every month's editions, we are going to have a couple of contents, articles from the community. As you know, the voice of the community is a very important and crucial feature on Mindplex.
Yeah, and even without tokenomics, these users that are contributing can already work on their reputation on Mindplex, right? So they will benefit from that at a later point as well.
Yes, on the off-chain, it calculates the repetition point so they can work on the repetition as early as possible.
Wow. Hey, you guys, you've been working on this for a long time, so this is really a big moment and really looking forward to see that product launch. And I'm sure a whole lot of people together with me. So keep my fingers crossed for that. Thank you for the update.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the update. And I guess question for me is there anything you want the community to do in the meantime? Or are they just, supporting Mindplex? I think probably the message really for SingularityNET community that this is going out to is, please make sure you come and join the Mindplex Telegram group. Come join the Telegram group. Tell all your friends to come join the Telegram group, because as the guys have just alluded, there's going to be a lot of really exciting frontier, high profile releases coming out from frontier tech, and high profile releases coming out from the amazing Mindplex team over the next few weeks. So join the Mindplex Telegram group, and maybe when we publish this video, we could also publish a link to the Mindplex Telegram group as well in the comments, please, team. Thank you.
And if you want to contribute content, hop over to the Telegram group. You'll see the pinned message at the top of the Telegram group has the link to the forum where you can contribute content. Excellent, thank you.
Now, in addition to our Telegram group, our marketing team, we're preparing to launch our official Twitter account and our Facebook page, so they can also join these accounts as well and make the community as active as possible.
Thank you, guys. Right, this meeting just keeps getting better and better and better. I mean, it started amazing. How could it get better? But here we go. Let's keep going. I think, have we got Rejuve up next, Jan?
Yeah, sorry, having a technical thing here. Yes, Rejuve, that other great project of ours that we're longing to see forward. We have both Debbie and Jasmine here in the call. So, Jasmine, how are you and how is Rejuve?
Hello, I'm doing well. Rejuve, we are also gearing up for our beta launch, and we're pretty excited, to finally be there. What we are doing now basically is all of pretty much the boring things that we don't want the community to have to go through, of like fixing tedious bugs and sticking points and all of that. So basically, we would prefer the beta to be more of a feedback and iterative process to try and basically, for you to let us know what people like you, people that would be wanting to use the app on a regular basis and share it with their family and friends, what you'd be expecting from it, and how we can improve it more to actually be marketable to a wide audience, kind of touching on what Sridhar was saying about making it more adaptable for people that may not be familiar with crypto. Like I see people saying, that they would like their grandparents to be using this app, or, just different things. So we're basically trying to make the actual experience of the app as seamless as possible, so that, we can move away from, the typical bug bounty hunting process of, okay, yeah, this is not working, that's not working, and more focusing on actual the structure of it. And yeah, just like how to make it the best it can be, because this is a very complex app and project that we're doing, because we're tackling, we have the earn for surveys aspect, which historically there's tons of apps and websites like that, and people end up abandoning them over time because it takes too long to ever earn enough points or whatever to be able to buy something in the shop. And so, we want to make that not happen. We also want this to be a live clinical trial platform. We've already seen a lot of interest from people wanting to basically run their own studies utilizing our app architecture. So that's another goal. A live personal health record. So we want people to be able to pretty much track all their health, like it's this big biosignals tracking platform. So we want people to be able to do that. And also our core focus is it being a research tool. And that's one of the primary goals, as well as all of this data that we're collecting is working towards actual longevity research that's directly rewarding all of the participants and all of those who are also on the outside supporting, that are not necessarily contributing data, but that are supportive of it. And then we have, kind of the reward shop area that is in order to use these tokens to get these products that are not only to help you to add more data to the platform and be a higher level data contributor, but also to improve your health and wellness overall. And so we're always looking for any type of partners that would like to onboard and work with us and list their services in our shops. And also we're interested in feedback of any medical professionals or even app developers to be a part of the beta testing as well when it comes out. That would be very valuable feedback for us as well. And in saying that, probably we will be opening up some kind of early access before the actual formal release. So I think already there's been some community ambassadors in the new ambassador program that may be doing kind of an early sneak peek review, and also maybe a social media competition. So that can be coming up soon. In other news, we were on Deborah and I were interviewed for a podcast called The Scope of Things for Clinical Research News. And this was actually a second meeting that we had with them. The first one was just a phone interview, which they published a nice article about. And then we were invited to speak with them again, and this time on a podcast. And that was shared recently on our social media channels. So you can check that out on our channels. And we also have kind of an exciting announcement on the horizon that has big implications for both Rejuve and SingularityNET, and that will be coming out pretty shortly. Can't really say too much about it, but I'll just say that it will be out there pretty soon, and it should be pretty exciting.
That is an understatement, I think. I know a lot of community members have been looking forward to this. So if you're talking about beta testing, and apart from the special interest groups, who from the community can join in that beta test?
So when we're talking about our actual formal announcement of it, that's pretty much anyone that's interested to use it, because we're really wanting, like I said, that feedback from people who would be realistic users of this app. So people that are already kind of interested in health tracking and, are already which is already the audience that is coming to us. So anyone that is interested in pretty much using this app on a regular basis.
And from when, about when do you expect that beta to start?
Before the end of this month.
Before the end of this month. My God, this is one hot month of May this year, or June this year. We have
Isn't it though?
Mindplex and Rejuve coming out in the same month. Wow. And all that other stuff. And we're not done yet. I know there are still some more things in the pipeline, even in this meeting as we go along. So Jasmine, what should people do if they want to join the beta?
Just keep on following our channels pretty much. We'll be announcing more. There won't be any, well, there will be kind of on the announcement, there'll be a form to fill with your phone specs and whether or not you have a wearable and whatnot, but that will kind of be announced to everyone. So there's nothing that really needs to be done right now except just watching our channels and getting ready.
All right. By the way, I love your background, and that's looking very promising.
It's super promising, and I'm just wondering, thinking out loud while we're talking here, Jasmine, with the launch of the Community Ambassador Program, which Haley and Peter and Peter certainly with a particular passion are leading, and the launch of your MVP and the growth of the Rejuve community out there, would we consider, because partnerships are such a important element to build the Rejuve ecosystem, would we consider a reward of some kind for community members who bring and introduce partners to us?
That would certainly be a good idea, and a good faction for ambassador program as it relates to Rejuve.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Let's do something there. And because there's such huge scope for Rejuve and such huge need for it for humanity, that it'd be really brilliant to bring in some great partnerships. So good. Let's do that. Yeah. And do you want to jump to me next, because I'm going to have to duck off at past, just in case whoever came next was really long. Or where were you thinking of going next?
I'm thinking right now of going next to you, Janet. So
Good
please
thinking.
Bring it on.
Great minds think alike. Okay, so So I'm going to have to duck off at past, and the reason I'm ducking off at past is to go and do a journalist interview with Ben about one of our new partnerships. And this partnership is a JV between SingularityNET and a global conglomerate called Eyre Holdings. And we will be announcing, we are still working on the press release, which is coming out soon. But seeing as the media are just about to interview Ben and have already interviewed the president of the company, I think I'm safe to tell the community about Singularitynet and the Conscious City program. So we are working very closely with a giant property management, state-backed property management firm called Altazam, and with Arias in Dubai in the UAE to develop plans for the world's first conscious city. Now, what is a conscious city? Well, a conscious city is next generation of smart cities, a city that leverages all of this incredible AI that we've been talking about earlier, the AGI, OpenCog, Hyperon, the ability to integrate multiple AI services and treat residents' well-being from a holistic perspective. So holistically combine all of the data from all of the IoT devices and all of the AI services into a city that really feels and brings out the well-being of its residents. So that's very exciting, and we've got a leading Dubai news outlet about to interview us about that in Dubai, about the general environment in the UAE for artificial intelligence and for robotics. And we have some really great support there from the AI ministry, which Sergey, Shalyapin and Jan and I visited in December as part of setting up with this JV. So I'm going to be ducking off in a moment, and that's one of our very exciting partnerships that we are looking forward to announcing very soon, just working on the press release. Second area to give you an update on, because our lovely, amazing Jam Galaxy CEO Diane, along with some of the Jam Galaxy band, did come down with COVID after the festival in LA last weekend. So, I said I'd give you all an update on Jam Galaxy. So I've told you about the concert, obviously, that we very successfully launched the band at NAMM Festival in LA last week. And one of the things one of the insights we took away from NAMM. So NAMM is a music festival. The NAMM stands for National Association of Music Merchants. And so it's like an industry conference, if you like, and a huge event in LA. And I met and spoke with somewhere between, I would estimate 15 different artists. So either, mostly musicians, about Jam Galaxy and about what Jam Galaxy offers, and the launch of an AI and blockchain platform for musicians to change the world one song at a time, to bring fairer distribution of wealth and better pay to musicians, and just really empower and enable the artist and fan economy and community to work much more closely together. And every single artist I spoke to, without exception, was really, really interested. And there were a couple of key observations there. One is that not one single artist I spoke with said, "Oh, there are too many decentralized music platforms out there," or "I keep on hearing from decentralized music platforms," or "I'm not interested in NFTs," or "I'm not interested in crypto, and I'm not interested in blockchain." Not one. Every single one of them had an appetite. And what we really did at NAMM was start to build our reputation as being on the art, tech for good, tech for purpose, tech for progress for humanity on the artist side. And we also established some really great relationships, and I think we'll be back at NAMM probably on a regular basis. So we really established that the market is there and that the appetite is hugely strong. And Danny Newcomb, who is our incredible guitarist on the Jam Galaxy band and also managing our artist outreach, he has a whole swathe of top musicians who are signing up and ready to go with Jam Galaxy. So the appetite from the artist side is huge and confirmed. And also, I felt Ben and I went to a discussion on AI for music production. And we came away thinking, actually, SingularityNET is going to be very successful in this space because the competition the competition just in the AI tools for musicians didn't seem anything that we would be particularly concerned about. And we've got Sergey Shalyapin here. He has the incredible transformer neural nets that create the lyrics for the Jam Galaxy band for Desi, and is also developing a whole suite of AI tools for artists. And they all want them. Here, that's the thing. They all want them. And it really feels like we're at the exact right moment in time and the right moment in history where, with the support of all of SingularityNET, so Sridhar on the blockchain side, Sergey on the AI side, Haley, Peter, all the marketing team on the marketing side, and anybody else who I'm forgetting who's supporting Jam Galaxy, we're all getting behind them, and there's a huge momentum and media interest and artist demand for Jam Galaxy. So we're working on developing the MVP, and we're of course very focused on the gig in New York on the 22nd of July. Did I mention 22nd of July, NYC, DRAM, be there or be elsewhere. That's all I can say. Tickets go on sale, NFT tickets go on sale on the Jam Galaxy website. It's allegedly closed business tomorrow, Tuesday, 14th of June, but should be Wednesday. It'll probably take us a few days to get this out anyway. Sergey, anything you'd like to add about the music tools which you're developing for Jam Galaxy? Would you like to give us a flavor or some of the kind of services which you're developing?
Right now, regarding music, right now we are at the beginning because there are a big scope of different tools projected for that. First of all, we have some music generation pipelines which generate the whole orchestra, for example. We have such a model and use this model to generate some samples. Some of them are really inspiring, but I'm looking forward to leverage neural symbolic approach to go forth based on notes on symbolic music representation or some mixed architectures. That is very exciting. Right now, we are more concentrated on lyrics and lyrics from music. This lyrics which is produced to use on the concerts on Jam Galaxy is generated by the models which were trained on booths, but we are gathering a huge data set of music lyrics and poetry. First of all, we have the models which generate lyrics with the sense of written music lyrics and classical poetry. And we start from that. Afterwards, we implement many instruments for music generation, for end-to-end music generation, for some sample generation, for genre classification, and so on. We have a stack of ideas to implement, and I think it's very, very interesting and exciting to work with this. And singing voice as well. Singing voice is very interesting.
Yes, super interesting. Thank you. And of course, we've just implemented the dancing robot as well, and Desi will continue to grow in her consciousness and her ability to free jam, to improvise herself, as part of the band as well. And one of the key messages I got from Nam from the AI in music panel event was that, like, there's a huge amount of drudgery in being a musician because you have to do everything yourself. You have to do all of the producing. You have to search for samples. You have to also be a visual artist. You have to also manage your own social media. It's really hard work for very little pay, and so in most cases, or in many cases. And so the opportunity for AI across the spectrum to make life better, to make it easier to search for the right samples, to make it easier to produce the music, to make it easier to manage social media, to make it easier to introduce artists to visual artists and so on. It's just enormous. The appetite, the opportunity for positive impact in such a beautiful way as music and the arts is absolutely enormous. And they massively, everyone who saw the Robot Band just massively loved it. So very, very upbeat updates there from Jam Galaxy. And our first single is going to be out by the end of June. Now, I'm slightly showing my generation there because I don't think they have singles anymore. But our first song, released as an NFT video and song, is currently just finalizing its music and sound editing, and features Dr. Van Gertzel on keyboards, and he's just absolutely amazing. And our beautiful, incredible Diane Krause on saxophone, as well as this top lineup of Danny Newcomb, Tony Mann, Jeremy Lightfoot, Jason Bonfer, and I have to give a shout out to Andres and Mario, who did a flawless job with the robots in NAMM. Both robots, the guest appearance from Sophia and Desi, were absolutely flawless technically throughout the whole event. And huge thanks to Sarah, who also looked after dressing the robots, taking care of them, moving their things around, taking care of all of us. So big shout out and big thanks to everybody for making such an incredible event happen. Thinking, did I miss a musician? No, I don't think I missed a musician.
Thank you, Janet, for that impressive update on Jam Galaxy. And who knows, music and art can really become our next vertical on the platform, because there's a lot of potential there. Also with Jam Galaxy, maybe as a framework where other developers, perhaps through deep funding, can also contribute their AI. So also from that perspective, I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Absolutely right, thank you. And all of the services which we're developing, which Sergey and his team are developing for Jam Galaxy, will of course be moved on to the SingularityNET marketplace, indeed.
And after this amazing update on Jam Galaxy, I think there are still some community members out there scratching their ears over what a conscious city could be. But there will probably be a lot more on that later.
There will definitely be a lot more on that later, for sure.
Edwin, I think you have some things to point out which have a nice connection to this Jam Galaxy update from Janet.
And I'm going to love you and leave you all now, folks. Thank you all, everybody, for your time and the brilliant upbeat updates this week. And thank you so much to all of our members of the community for following, for liking, for and for being the wind beneath our wings. We couldn't do it without you. Stay with us, and lovely to update you this month. We look forward to next month already. And I'm off. Bye.
Thank you, Janet, and good luck with the interview.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Janet. Hello. Yeah, just an update from the partnership side. It's quite incredible the number of companies that we're currently speaking with, and not only that, the diversity of the projects. It really does show, the potential of our platform. But following on from Janet, relating to music in the metaverse, our 2B partners, I can't quite name them yet, invited me out to the Metaverse Festival in Prague last weekend, which was quite incredible to see the progress that they are making collectively. A few of these projects I visited are working very closely together and want to start connecting these various projects into an alliance that would be able to collaborate and, together are looking to create a new music economy. I've introduced them. They've had some great discussions with Jam Galaxy. They're also in touch with other music-related blockchain projects. And together we aim to build an ecosystem for musicians that will allow playing, performing, jamming in virtual reality and metaverse with a rewarding system for artists. They'd also like to start building AI tools on SNet platform, which would be a bridge between, music production, AI, and the metaverse. Hopefully this could motivate other programmers to build music tools that will have real adoption in an immersive experience of, composing music with extension to VR and metaverse. These partners have to-be partners have an insane amount of data and a very complex algorithmic system for composing music that they can train AI models on. So it's going to be great to see what we come up with on that front. So yeah, it's great to be in talks with such exciting projects. But yeah, I'll be sure to give you updates on these as soon as I progress. Yeah, we're also very proud to be collaborating with TopClan. They envision a hybrid NFT marketplace and production platform to be initially launched with a 10K piece avatar profile pic collection. So the production platform will allow users to use the same software we use to make the collections via a graphical front-end interface rather than a terminal. The first production tool will be a generative network that creates images using text prompts. They may create single images or large randomly generated collections based on their own text prompts and initial images. So it's quite an interesting project. And this marketplace will allow users to automatically turn the output of a production platform into an NFT or NFT collection. So the use of artist profiles and sub-collections is, taking advantage of the automated nature of AI art to bring a new set of features, for the NFT market. And yeah, this is just beginning to really, scratch the surface on what we're working on. We're in talks with some rather big players in the crypto space, music space, a real good mixture of technical and creative projects. I'm not at liberty to divulge further at this point, but we have some great things in the pipeline. So yeah, I envision a really strong Q3 and Q4.
Well, Edwin, there's maybe one name that you can mention, because they were one of our awarded winners of deep funding, which is MuseVerse, right? And this is also a relationship that you brought into our ecosystem, and that was also rewarded by our community.
Yes, absolutely. I was a bit skeptical because we haven't, the NDA hasn't been signed, but of course, yes, they have been awarded from deep funding.
They have been awarded by deep funding, and that's a completely transparent and open situation. And everybody is aware in the community that they were awarded as a team. So that is definitely one of our relationships. And thank you for introducing them to SingularityNET, and they will fit in very nicely with all the other things that we are doing on the music and arts front, I would say.
Yeah, massive. I mean, it's such a great team as well. They're creating so many different tools, the vision that they have for SNET, and, the fact that they want to start building AI tools on our platform. This is going to really motivate other, developers and programmers to build AI music tools. That is going to have a real adaptation for this experience of composing music, with this sort of extension to VR and metaverse. So it's a very exciting partnership. Really looking forward to seeing how that progresses.
Thanks, Edwin, and great to see you on fire with all these amazing names that you are bringing in lately. It's really fantastic. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, then let's go to our next in line. We still have half an hour left in this meeting. We have a number of people to go. Kabir, NuNet, usually we present you a little bit more to the early part of the meeting, but as you can see, this time there was such amazing content to share with our community that, you have to join the line, actually. But how are you, and what's going on with NuNet?
Very well. And so with relation to what was said, I think NuNet is in a phase where basically the I think Jasmine kind of mentioned that it's a tedious and kind of and technical work going on. So it's not that shiny and nice that we cannot launch ourselves sort of too often. And I think so. NuNet is basically busy with building as sustainable mechanism of growth and sort of delivering steps towards the vision that we delineated for, let's say, for 3 years or so in the roadmap. And so one thing, for example, is so we are building a team. We have quite a fast growth in the previous couple of months. So now the growth slightly, let's say, stabilized in terms of people. However, we're sort of emphasizing building a culture so that we can allow more people to join that culture. So that's a lot of basically work of discussing what exactly are we doing, how we actually doing that, how do we allow people to contribute as much as possible in a sort of decentralized way rather than somebody saying what things have to be done, to experiment, to sort of get into experiment as a team. Because NuNet, as much as we are a technical company, we are also doing something that is never been done by anybody on the team, or basically in a tech let's say part of the computing universe or technical sort of universe that we are in, or segment. So we are building culture and processes and how we are going to sort of do that in the team. Also, how are we going to include the community developers into that process? Which is pretty much the key thing for us to reach what we are set to reach. So yeah, so if I could say, we structured certain deliverables that we are going to reach in a let's say third part of this year, technical deliverables. However, we are not that let's say keen and fast of building those exact deliverables, but we are using those deliverables in order to build the whole process how we are reaching further ones. So something that I think a few updates earlier, we were structuring the use case integrations that we're building platform on top of that. So a little bit more concretely, what we're busy with is, apart from those concrete things that the team is building, we're building a gateway how the community can monitor all the technical work that we're doing, and not only technical. So that is basically our code base on GitLab, where we expose all the, let's say, backlog building process, discussions, technical discussions, relations between issues, pretty much everything, so that anybody who is interested and who would like to join would jump in and just get sort of hands dirty with sort of joining the technical work or joining a team. So based on that, we're also updating our web page, which will integrate all the sort of our services, both GitLab or whatever services that we're using, and all the content, whether it's internal content or externally, so let's say targeted content, into one place so everybody could reach from there, including documentation that we're using, including API documentation and the code. Yes, so Another thing that probably would be worth to mention that's coming pretty soon, that we are launching the testnet program, where we will structure the way that people could join the NuNet testnet, on which, first of all, with the computing devices, so that we can start testing actual network on actual devices which are, well, different based on what people really have on the desks and homes. So that is something that is coming up pretty soon. I guess I can say, I mean, we'll have a structured communication about that, but I guess I can say that the way it will work is that we will have a general program for people who would like to join. These people we will sort of have certain way of basically knowing who we are joining the network, because testers will have to have quite, well, I wouldn't say deep technical skills, but pretty technical skills in order to join this network and to participate there. So we will have a general sort of questionnaire and a program of onboarding, and we'll have interviews and we'll have direct contacts with them. And then based on that, we will also announce sort of separate programs if, for example, we will see that in order to grow our test network or to do testing on certain use cases, we will need certain specific either devices or skills or programming skills or developers. We'll have a separate calls for these, let's say, community developers that we would invite to join NuNet. So this is something that's coming. Another thing that we're busy redefining the contracts that we have for NuNet, internal contracts, smart contracts for NuNet to work for Cardano, to make it truly internal tokenomics, as we call it, blockchain agnostic. And based on that, we'll have we'll have specification of functionalities that we built, so that we can expand in terms of blockchains too. So yeah, I'm coming to a kind of tedious and less shiny things, which are pretty exciting, and I think we can. I'm pretty sure that soon enough we'll be able to sort of polish them and show to the community. So that would be the update, I think.
All right, Kabir, that's still amazing, I would say. I think it's extremely important to work on decentralization and culture. And just after spinning off, that's the best moment to start on that and lay a good foundation for further growth and community involvement, as you say. So you're really carrying on the vision of SingularityNET and moving ahead with that. So that's already something to be proud of, I would say. So so if somebody would be, if a community member would be interested in developing for NuNet, what kind of things would he be able to contribute, or she?
The goal is so first of all, we are starting with compute devices, and eventually what we want to achieve is that anybody who has a computing device which has free computing power can join the network and to contribute this device to whoever wants to do that. Until we reach that, we will need some, as I said, technical skill from people who will sort of offer that, because we will be testing, so certain requirements, we will sort of define certain requirements so that we can work. So now in the vision, or the things that we want to achieve, is basically pretty much, as in open source projects, pretty much erase most of the difference between the co-developers and the community developers. in terms of what they can do for the platform, which means all the information that are available for the and communication channels and information and documentation and the code itself, which is available for the code developers, should be available publicly for the whole community, so that we can harness not only skills and abilities of the community, but also ideas, which is always, ideas around us are always more than ideas inside. So in terms of also use cases, I'm sure that people have much more ideas how can these kind of frameworks can be used and what kind of use cases can be built on top of that, rather than we sitting and sort of inventing that. So what we want to do, that people could just jump in and do that themselves, and we will be helping. So that is the vision.
All these people that are now terribly inspired by this story from you, what is the best place for them to go? To GitHub, to your new website, Telegram?
I would say to the new website when it will be launched.
And when will that be?
To be announced. Let's say this way.
Okay.
And actually, the thing that Greg just did an update, and he has new team members in his team, and we are working with them to update the brand guidelines and the design. So this is related.
All right.
Right now, I would say GitLab.
GitLab. I said yes. GitHub, but it's GitLab. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So go to GitLab, but also go to the old site and go to Telegram and all these other channels, because NuNet is really a very important and essential part of our future infrastructure. And I think a lot of people recognize that. Also, Kabir, there are a lot of people in deep funding that also mention NuNet and tell me that they are planning to host their servers on NuNet. And unfortunately, I have to say, they have to be a little bit patient. I'm sure you agree, otherwise please let me know. But there's certainly recognition, and they're really looking forward to this decentralized infrastructure.
Yes, so as a comment to that, probably yes, but in terms of why the patience is needed is precisely because what we want to do is that if somebody will want to run things on NuNet, they will not need to, since NuNet is a decentralized framework as SingularityNET. Basically the goal is allow people to use it without having without needing to contact anybody from the team. Just going to use, let's say, if it's SingularityNET, it's publisher platform. If it's NuNet, to use the NuNet adapter or the way that NuNet is installed. And just like there are, for example, decentralized exchanges, you just sort of put a smart contract and it runs. To achieve that, and in order to achieve that, basically we have to go certain knowledge. So this is why the patience is needed, but this is why we want to achieve. And however, comments and sort of communication and expression of what people want to build is always helpful and welcome.
Well, Kabir, you're always doing things deliberately and thoughtfully, and I think that inspires a lot of trust in people. That and also this that you're building this really solid and good foundation, so that you will be able to continue to build on that towards the future. Especially for a complex project like NuNet, building that good foundation, both organizationally and culturally and technically, is extremely important. And I think all of us are sure that it's in great hands with you. So thank you for that. And thank you for the update.
Thank you.
All right. We still have a number of people and some very interesting things to go for. And we're almost already running out of time. So let's see if we can take a few minutes extra. But without further ado, let me introduce all of you to our wonderful new team member, Cloris Chen, who is leading a new pod where actually Ben in his last update mentioned something about, but not in this wide presenting way. So for a lot of you, this might still be something very new, but I think maybe it's better if you, Cloris, present this yourself to our community.
Sure. Thank you, Ian. Very nice to meet you guys. Yes, I'm Cloris Chen. I'm leading the new project within Singularity ecosystem. So it's stablecoin. I mean, the word so far right now does not sound very fancy, but the model we are working on is very cool, and it's macro index pegged stablecoin. So and it's been a month since I have started to lead the project. And so far, we have achieved quite a few, exciting things. Like we have simulated the index of the model, which has proved to work very well as we wanted to. And also, we have worked out the project framework with the whole team, especially including our project structure, our revenue model, our stabilization model, treasury management policies, etc., etc. So we are right now drafting our white paper, which I would say almost like 40 to 50% completed. And we also have got our website drafted as well. And very excitingly, this month we have a full-time quant analyst onboarding in our team, who will be responsible for the financial modeling. So especially we will focus a lot on the stress test of the model, because if we are doing some sort of stable project, we want it to be reliable, we want it to be liquid, and we want it to be resilient, especially in market downturn, right? So right now, we have collected all the data, so it's working on that part. That will also be our next biggest milestone as well, because once we proved that we are able to pass the stress test, we'll kickstart to the more broadcasting and sharing with the ecosystem and with the community as well. And also because our project will involve a lot of trading and also treasury management, we'll have a lot of collaboration and synergies with the Singularity DAO team as well. So it's pretty exciting, to build something that will, have a lot of opportunities within both our ecosystem and the entire network. So yeah, very happy to be in the team, and let's keep updated.
Thank you, Cloris, for this really quick update. I have two more questions to you.
Sure.
First of all, because this is a new introduction of you to the community, I think we are very happy that we found you for this project, because you're such a perfect match. But maybe you can tell a little bit about you and your background. That's one thing. And the other thing that I'm curious about, what do you think is the most exciting thing about this specific stablecoin and how it distinguishes itself from other stablecoins?
Sure, no problem. Thank you, Ian. So about myself, I come from finance background. I worked in the bank, HSBC, for quite a few years as a corporate banker. So I was really into DeFi since 2020. That's when I started to research all the DeFi projects, including stablecoins, etc. And I'm also getting my master's degree for computer science, which actually helps me to build more skills about coding, etc. So I think crypto, blockchain in general is really a good match for my profile, where I can both leverage my experience in finance and in tech, so which is very fun and promising industry as well. And about the project, you mentioned what's the most outstanding features of Cogito. Sorry, Cogito is our name, by the way. About our project, one thing is, so unlike many other projects which claim to be stable coins and they peg to the US dollar or other fiat currencies, we don't do that. So we are pegging our coins to macro indexes. Right. So there are several reasons for doing that. One is macro data does not change drastically, which means by nature, our model will be more stable than many things. Second is because it's macro data, it's more complicated and more sophisticated as well. So nobody in the team or on the chain can ever manipulate it. So it's independent of manipulation, which is very important thing to gain market trust for that. So I think that's like a really innovative move. Another thing that we are trying to do is because a few of our teams have very solid financial background together with the tech skills. So we are trying to use many of our previous experience, let's say what we have learned from the finance world, that we can be used in DeFi because, that has been tested for hundreds of years and they have been proved to work. So we want to build them on chain with the experience that we had, which is also a very good, I think a very good model and a very good point that we can make. And so there are many more technical related aspects that I may not be able to share more details now. But in terms of model, we also have a few innovations which can make sure our model works much more stable, even in the market downturn. Because what happened to Luna recently is a very expensive lesson learned for everyone in the ecosystem, and we definitely will we have to make a stronger system and model to make sure that will never happen again. Yeah, so that's about our project.
Thank you, Cloris. So if I understand it right, the Cogito, as the name is currently,
right,
might still change. I'm not sure, or is that the final?
We're open to that, but for now, it's just the Cogito, just for easy communication.
All right, so it will not be pegged to any fiat, but it will be pegged to an index and basically follow the path to the beneficial singularity that we see. So
exactly.
if the US, so what is a big down side of regular stablecoins is that if there's a lot of inflation in the US dollar, then your capital will inflate with it.
Exactly.
And this stable coin will try to amend that, right?
Right.
I hope I'm
so
not disclosing anything that shouldn't be disclosed yet, but...
I can share a little bit on that. So how recently the inflation rate has been record high all the time in the US, in the UK, right? So our stable coin, because we are pegging to a macro index, which has some developed by itself, so we will be able to hedge at least partially to the inflation in terms of the purchasing power. Yeah, so that's also like a big advantage towards the stable coins. Yeah.
All right, thank you, and we'll leave it at that because there's much more to tell, but that will all come in due time. And I think everybody right now who is watching this will be very enthusiastic about this first peek behind the curtain of. All right,
Thank you.
Yeah, as you can see, you're the personalization, Cloris, of fintech, having a financial and a technical background. So, and yeah, both very impressive. So we're very glad to have you on board on this wonderful project, which is just a great fit. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, and we have a few more or less internal things. So we have a marketing update from Haley, we have an HR update from Renata, and I could do a very quick update on deep funding. Haley, do you have anything to share with your beloved and our beloved community?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the marketing team has been hard at work on a number of things, that a lot of what we've heard about today. So working closely with Greg on the website update, so creating all the content around the new messaging that more accurately reflects SingularityNET since phase 2. So looking at more of the ecosystem and how that's being all built out, some of the technological innovations around the platform, around AI DSL, OpenCog Hyperon, making sure that all of that is up to date. And then again, working closely with Greg so that the marketing team can better keep the website up to date, put new updates up there, update roadmaps and calendars and blogs, and make sure that the website's staying more as a central hub, as you said. So that's really exciting and really progressing well. It's looking just beautiful, and I can't wait for the community to see it as soon as we get it built. So As Edwin said, we've got lots of exciting partnership updates forthcoming. So we're working to get all the press releases worked out with all those companies. So the community should get to hear a bunch of those soon. And they really span everything from music and art, as mentioned, to crypto and machine learning data integrations, and just the full range of very exciting partnerships out there. The community ambassador program is going really well. So that's been about 4 weeks since we kicked off. We've been having a weekly town hall open meeting on the entire program. The next one will be 6 p.m. UTC tomorrow. That'll be on Discord. So we've been just hosting them on Discord as an open event. And then there's been 2 work groups that have been routinely meeting as well to move that whole process forward, as well as the community podcast and the whole organization of the system. A number of people have completed translation and other tasks. And so that content is already starting to come out, which is so cool to be able to bring the community in, to get involved, and to be able to create this great content to share back with the community and broaden our awareness and scope. We've had a big focus on Jam Galaxy. So putting together the social media and promotion and back-end issues for the NAM performance, and then the upcoming DROM, doing both the promotion on social media and the publicization, as well as our amazing graphics team, putting together some great images for website banners and actually some merchandise images that are very cool and will be very exciting to see come into fruition. So we're getting ready to help Desdemona set up her Instagram account so she can become a presence of her own and gather her own following. And that should be very exciting. And then we are looking forward, of course, to Rejuve and Mindplex, helping them launch their products, the app and the magazine and podcast and everything else through Mindplex. And so gearing up to have all these great products coming out at the same time and really exciting announcements and really make a big push to grow the community through these great platforms and reach new audiences, reach health enthusiasts and longevity enthusiasts and decentralized media enthusiasts and really augment the community with people that may be unfamiliar with crypto, but excited about this decentralization and the ability to participate and crowdsource all these amazing innovations. So it should be a very cool opportunity. The Baby Singularity NFT launch for Sophia just ended up and went very well. So it was kind of Sophia's first big splash to launching her Sophiaverse. There'll be in-game utility and cryptonomic, tokenomic utility for those NFTs. So that was very neat to see. And that was kind of the trial run for there's going to be a big We Are Sophia NFT launch. Should be next month sometime, where you'll actually get to purchase NFTs that are very heavily related to gameplay and how your Sophia within the metaverse will be. So that's exciting. Look for more news coming up on that. We're looking to begin a project where we'll have our own AI social media tool to help us with Twitter and the other social media platforms, and have AI generated or augmented content for social media. So we're an AI company. Every aspect of our company should have AI involvement. So that should be really exciting. And as well, that will become a marketplace worthy tool. So that will be marketing able to contribute to the marketplace and platform that way. And then for the month, we're looking to start talking with all these great pods about getting a roadmap update for the first half of 2022, putting together an update series on everything that everybody's been up to, and let the community see all the amazing milestones that we've reached already this year and what we're looking to finalize for the second half of the year. I think that's marketing in a nutshell right now.
Well, Haley, it's a pleasure hearing you talk like that, because really it's SingularityNET in a nutshell, because marketing is everywhere. And yeah, I think it's good to also have this summary, because it's important for everybody to realize we're not just building stuff, we're also working on our marketing department and communication and putting all that news out in the world. And we're continuously developing new ways, like this AI you talked about. That's just great, and also very glad to hear that we will also find that on the platform. So that's a nice thing to know. Yeah, thank you very much for this great summary of all things happening in marketing and SingularityNET, and thanks for your great and hard work over the past months and longer.
Thank you.
All right, Renata, how is your voice doing today?
It's okay. I will try. If I start to cough, we can cut that. It's a short one. We will be fine. Hello, everyone. How are you? I would like just to give you a few updates on the recruitment side for now. We are working with a number of open positions through SingularityNET and SingularityNET ecosystem. You can see our open jobs, job descriptions advertised at SingularityNET jobs page at our website. Focusing on SingularityNET open positions and projects, at the moment we have blockchain developer. This position is open for one while, because we don't want only smart contract developers. We want someone that is able to help us developing the full blockchain process, and also be able to learn or work across different networks, such as Ethereum, Cardano, Polygon, and other ones. We also we have at the moment a ML software developer position for Mindplex, also a Rust developer for OpenCog and Hyperon, tester position for or QA engineer for Rejuve, a WordPress developer and UX UI designer for general. There are two different positions, WordPress and UX UI designer for general project support. Also, there is advanced interviews for Chief Marketing Officer role. Let's see if we will have news from next month for this role. Also, talking about marketing, we have PR and social media management lead. If you have any have worked for AI companies and cryptocurrency, you are into this market, it's our pleasure to receive your CV and discuss this role. Also, we have a data-driven analyst position that will help us to drive marketing department through data and help us to get better and improve all the projects that Iklé also has mentioned. We also have an assistant editor position for Mindplex. All these roles, we are looking for candidates across the world. Doesn't matter where you are based. If you would like to have a chat about these open roles, please send me your CV to recruitment@SingularityNET.ai. But also, please read the job spec and be sure that your skills are matching with what we are looking for each role. That is important for us because the positions also, they're quite senior. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Renata. That's quite a list still. Sure. everybody who has watched this whole video is really impressed by all the things going on in SingularityNet. And yeah, if you have any ambition, then this is a great place to be and to be evolving yourself in so many ways. So maybe I was going to ask, but I see you're a little bit coughing.
It's okay, you can ask.
And then we can put it below here in the video maybe. What is the URL that people should go to for the jobs?
It's SingularityNET.io, and then you can find the jobs page there.
Okay, all right.
It is hidden between the pages, but it is, our website's quite easy to navigate. You find it easily there. Okay. Also, you can see in the jobs page open positions for NuNet and Singularity down. There are 5 positions in total, basically for data integration and protocol engineers or architects.
All right, one moment. Yeah, so it's SingularityNET.io/jobs.
Yeah, there is a little, it's not an issue, but it's a detail there. Marketing and the UX UI designer team, they are constantly updating the website. They have been moving the jobs between other things there, but for now, it is where you have mentioned.
All right. So it might change. That is what we're saying. Everything, yeah, change is what we're all about here. So, and
exactly.
You heard about, we're working on a new website. So indeed, also these URLs might change a little bit. Thank you, Renata. Yes, sorry.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for all your work on expanding this community, this company, and this whole ecosystem. Yeah, if you're looking for some nice colleagues, everybody out there, please send us your resume.
Yeah. Another thing also, if the community is keen to help, feel free to share all of our open jobs in your LinkedIn feed.
Of course.
Thank you.
LinkedIn. You can find us on LinkedIn. All right, and then we're almost done. I just promised you a short update on deep funding. I think everybody involved in the community knows what deep funding is and what the status is roughly. So we had our first round of deep funding, which is a community-driven fund that supports developers that want to help grow our platform. And we had a very successful first round at that. 12 projects were selected by our community in order to be funded. We had a total of $1 million in funding. The larger part, but not everything, is being allocated to these new projects. And if you are curious about these projects, we will have some community presentations coming on. The first one is right now scheduled for next, I'm not sure when this video is coming out, but for Tuesday, the 21st of June is the plan right now. And there will be a next one the week after, because we think we best distribute that over 2 sessions. So that will be a great opportunity to see these projects and the people behind it and see them present what these projects are all about, if you don't know it already. And also an opportunity to ask some questions. So we'll be out there with official communication and dates very soon. Maybe already when you see this video passing along. So that's one thing that is exciting to me. We are now in deep funding in the process of tweaking the contract a little bit, because this is our first route to make sure that it is well balanced, and then everybody will be able to sign it and we can move on. Furthermore, what's also very interesting is that we are scheduling bi-weekly meetings with people interested in the governance part of deep funding. So you saw decentralization as a topic a number of times already in this session. So Kabir talked about it, and in the context of NuNet. Haley talked about it in the context of marketing and our ambassador program. But of course, also deep funding is all about decentralization and about community involvement. So we are hoping for, and we are having good conversations with community members about the next round, what we should improve, where we should go afterwards. And yeah, I would love to invite everybody here to join that conversation and to keep your voice heard about the future of deep funding and helping also that way the future of SingularityNET. So you can find us on Discord, on Deep Funding channel, you can find us on Telegram, and of course there's also the website deepfunding.ai, and we have a portal called proposals.deepfunding.ai. And also there we have created a mission where we will put some possible improvement options for everybody to give feedback on. I will tell a little bit more on that and the process maybe in the session that we have, the presentation with our awarded teams. And I'll also be writing 2 articles on the voting process itself. So what did we learn from it? What if we look a little bit deeper into the data? What does it tell us? That would be one article. Another article would be how can we turn this in actual improvements, and what kind of improvements do we see for deep funding? So I think we should stop it at that, and there will be a lot more communication on deep funding, but also on all these other projects on our usual channels. So thank you for watching, and we're looking forward to see you all on our community channels. And thank you everybody here, all my dear colleagues, for joining us this time. I think you had some really amazing updates, so I'm already looking forward to the next time. See you then.